Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as I recover from the singing that we had last episode. Tell Andre and Suna... Wait, tell Andre about Suna's thoughts on the nightclub. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So, in between episodes, I have sort of realized why there's nobody here. I'm not really sure when the day ends exactly, so I'm not really sure if we should go talk to Andre right now. I think they're gonna be okay for right now, but I do remember, or I think I remember, the game telling us something about how the people in here, or the people in the world, or not really the people, but rather the world itself changes after 11 p.m. And I think that's what it means, is that the people just go to bed or something. And some people remain, but most of them don't. And so we're just going back home. We're not back home. We're going to our room. At least I think we're going to our room. I'm not really sure if we are, because I don't know where it is. So that's a bit of a problem, but we'll surely get through it, no problem. I mean, besides the problem. What is that? Where are we? Oh, we weren't here before. Excuse me. What are these doing in the fish? Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots. Perception boots? Well, I like my empathy shoes better. Yeah, I'll stick with my empathy shoes. This boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. And some money. There's a little bit of a yacht. Is this the person I think it is? The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp.
I'll just keep the cordially in the channel if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Did you really just call her Cordelie? Right. That's not how it's pronounced. Cordelate is how it would be pronounced. Or Cordialatia, depending on if you're pronouncing it with a Brazilian or a Brazilian accent, really. She winds the mooring line around the post.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
It's a jetty. Huh.
Of course, jetty. I prefer a good jetty to appear any day. Jetty.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detectives.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
Past midnight.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now. So I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That, and she's also keeping an eye on you. Have you been Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cordelie red, like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. Quite.
So how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze toward a village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half-finished 10 years ago. Water drips down eaves of eternite, says our perception. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
She squints her eyes.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
That woman is Liliane, the net picker. Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull gray metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right, politics time. Let's react, says our rhetoric. What do we have here? It's basically the same four choices. It's, yeah, at this point, it's just sort of we choose one and we see what funny things the writers thought of writing in regards to whatever faction we choose to side with. You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. That's one option. There is no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. That would probably be the moralist, side. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. This place is doomed either way. Wow. It is not written like that. I like it. So one of the problems of having one of the problems of having a moral compass, not moral compass, what's the word? Alignment system. That's right, like in, you know, chaotic evil or lawful neutral and lawful neutral good and stuff like that, like in Dungeons and Dragons, is that you fall into you can fall into the trap of writing lines of dialogue for each one of them, which just makes them very, you know, predictable, which is a shame, and it shouldn't work like that. But interestingly enough, this game also falls for that trap a couple of times. Of you never have like no option to be a moralist, or two options to be a fascist, or whatever the other one is. Like it's only one option for each, and exactly one. And so you know that's not very good. It's more about design. It's not really about the writing, but it is about design. But this one is, I think I think they align as well. I think these align. But they're not obvious. They weren't written like that in they don't seem to have been written like that in mind, apart from this one, obviously. I don't know what the rest of the city looks like. I would say that this one is the communist thing. This is all your fault, because she's a moral intern. Moral intern? She's a moralist. What's the moral intern? Where does that word come from? Anyway, she's a moralist, so I think this... And also she works for a big company. No, she specifically works for the company that works with the union. Still, this is oversimplifying, and it is, I think, still faction-related, because the union also bears a share of the grunt, or a share of the fault here. But I'm gonna go with that. Maybe. She leans against the railing, looking up at the gray sky. It's early spring, says our esprit de corps, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Oh, I'm remembering what happened. And this maybe it's your fault as well. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks and swords. Tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy of his... no, wait. Lieutenant McCoy, to his partner. His name is John the Archetype McCoy. So, anyway, they're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the Revolution. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands. Do you know how they discovered this place? Says Joyce. The wind picks up. Her raincoat flaps in the gust. This island? No, the Insulindian Isola. Yes, that is sort of what I was saying, because that sort of all sounds like the same word, to be honest, because it's, you know, island comes from isle, whatever. What is an Isola exactly? I'm guessing you don't know then? She says. No, I don't know how they discovered it. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. 45% is around where I operate. Oblivion, that's me. Also because oblivion means, you know, to be oblivious, to forget. And, yeah. I know you would sympathize, she nods. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home, this island of matter. or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day, she corrects the scarf around her neck. For now, how can I assist you in this new location? Tell me something else then, because I don't have time. Of course. I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. How can I help you at this juncture? She says. Well, I found my badge, by the way. By love, you did! She inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right. Also the by things that people say. Some people... By love is the first time I see that, by love, but it is a moralist sort of principle. I've heard other people say by something else, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, that's an interesting detail. She's memorizing your badge number. She inspects... Oh, it's challenging success, really. Her eyes scanning from left to right, yeah. She hands it back to you, although, realistically, you would just read it once and then try to come up with a mnemonic so that you would be able to remember it, whatever the number is. And you wouldn't really scan it over and over again. I guess it depends on person. I wouldn't do that. She hands it back to you. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant Double Yeffrator Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. Seaweed drips from the badge in your hand. It smells of fish. Oh no, she's not saying that. Wait. Seaweed drips from the badge? Why? She says, what can I tell you, or what can I help you with, Lieutenant Yeffrator? How about you sharing your information on the lynching, now that you've seen his badge? The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will be a probe. I cannot rescind that promise, she smiles apologetically. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them. Her quest was actually to get to know what they were, what their connection was with drugs and drug trafficking. Not really to take them out of the roundabout. I hypothesized that that was just another way of getting them to leave the roundabout. This was your plan all along. She shakes her head vigorously. My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end, which I hope you will, because let me tell you, we are in dire waters. Yeah, I won't work for her either. Man, holy crap. Meaning the information, our rhetoric says, meaning the information she has will raise the stakes in this game. The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share crucial information with you. She takes a sip of tea. Now, is there anything I can do for you in the meantime? Tea, perhaps? No. Why can't I ask about the thing that she was going to tell me about? Maybe I need to wait for later, actually. It would make sense. Yeah, but she's definitely playing me along, so I won't work for her. I mean, if maybe I will, but like I won't make it a point to work for her. We'll see.
Aye, officer.
A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
Well, that depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earring. And Elysible stands for unreadable in French, I assume? Or whatever. This is so much based in French that I think it is French, but it might be a made-up language, like the Portuguese and Spanish mashup that they have. I have questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts, says says our logic. But yeah, the first is, that was indeed the second one. Ask her about the cool sword. helps to break the ice. Yeah, nice sword. I'm gonna point to the saber on her hip. Does it come in with a story? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. She smiles at her own joke. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. It is imposing. I'm gonna nod. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. Why do you need intimidation tactics? From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men, and believe me, she adds, tittering, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? What makes you think we haven't? She smiles. The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too, but they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. I just say, behold, and I point to the expression on my face. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. Wait. All these lines are in reply to what she just said. I'm getting really defensive about this. About her criticizing men, because apparently the hat fits the head or something. Or maybe not, I don't know, but all these lines are very much in defense. I wasn't actually thinking I was going to defend my position. What's it called? Male fragility? That's right. True, most people I've met are scared. No one wants to talk about how frightened they are, but only frightened people are really dangerous, and plenty of them are dangerous. Can I borrow that sword? No, I'm afraid not. Her eyes are smiling as her hand moves to the hilt, attempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave. So, where are all the men now? Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others went more thick-headed. She looks down. And one of them I ended up marrying. Wait, why? If they're thick-headed. I mean, I guess... Oh, she does say one of them. Not one of the men specifically, but one of the more thick-headed. And that's why the question makes sense. Otherwise it wouldn't. Why, if they're thick-headed? I guess I enjoyed the way he bled. Her expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke. If it is, then why the melancholy? Asks our empathy. Yeah, it probably isn't. Or at least partially only. It's maybe a joke at my expense rather than at the expense of her husband. Where's your husband now? Gone. Oh. I was gonna say dead because that's what you think. But maybe it isn't what you think. It disappeared. It sounds like a missing persons case. It absolutely does not, the lieutenant quietly interjects. We're not going to look for him. Kim is getting fed up with all the cases, quote-unquote, that I get myself into. No, there's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves. Oh, that's bad. What happened? Who knows? Maybe he fell over? She shrugs. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death, is a line. What a zany line. My god, I kind of want to go with it. Oh, actually, it would make sense for my character to say something like this. Because, you know, of the self-destructiveness, but also not. But specifically the self-deprecation, rather. Or self-pity, rather. Yeah, that's the one. Those are all different things, but one specifically is a trait of my character that I want anyway. Let's go with that. Just because it's so zany. Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death. I don't, she says. But us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. She crosses her arms. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing. Well, they're not playing anymore, but it's fine. Are playing with that, what looks what look like rocks. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids. This is neither a touchy topic nor a very interesting one for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another... Our electrochemistry is saying... she looks like she's ready to go on a date with another better drunk. Ask her. Both of you need some action. So that's a heroic suggestion. Kim's presence makes it awkward. Kim's presence. Oh my god. That is a suggestion. I might actually be able to bring my odds up a little bit. I just need to wear my suggestion pens. Tell me that doesn't make sense, that I would have suggestion pens. I bet I don't have suggestion pens, but we'll see about that. Actually, I can just be seeing you. And, did the time just pass, like, 9 minutes? No, not this one. This. Let's see what I have here for suggestion. Minus suggestion for our conical hat. Oh, that's not where the start goes. Minus suggestion for everything, my god. Is it just the things that look bad? I get minus suggestion. Hiccups as well. I don't think I will have many suggestion things. Wait. Oh, I need to click on you for the orange. Does it... Oh, no, we have a suggestion jacket over here. Or suggestion coat. Heck yeah. Put that over there. Let's see. Inland Empire, drama, endurance, physical instrument, empathy. This is gonna result in terrible things, by the way, if I succeed in whatever I'm about to try. I'm not sure I will, actually. At this rate, it looks like my dreams of suggestion pens are dashed. So that 8% becomes a 17% with a extra dice roll. Or the plus. I could bring it up a little bit. I have 2 points. Can I justify it? I can justify it. It's Psyche. So that would bring it up to 26? 30. Yeah, it's still very low. Let's not bother with it. Failure. Oh, wait. Nah. I was thinking how my character would handle rejection, but it isn't particularly in character to get rejected again on purpose.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Because that would be basically being rejected on purpose, is asking her to go on a date with another drunk specifically. I guess, yeah, she needs, yeah. That's it's no wonder that's a heroic check. Is that your boat? I'm gonna point at the overturned boat. Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated it with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Sunny days? I'm gonna catch a snowflake in your palm. Aye? She looks at the snow melt in the water. Sunny days, you got a problem with that? No, ma'am, says Kim. We have no quarrels with sunny days. Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids. There's a moment of silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt and the yellow belly of the boat. I wonder if she's in denial or something. It's like if this is supposed to show that she's in denial just in general for things, and not just for the sunny days. This is weird. Also because it's midnight. When do you think the boat will be ready? In time, she replies with a nod and adds, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she'll be ready. My prediction, says her visual calculus, it'll be at least 2 days. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's my motor carriage in the sea, by the way. I'm gonna point to the sunken vehicle. Oh, she looks at the pointed direction. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? I got drunk and apparently drove it into the sea. She looks at you and shrugs. This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. I'm actually in the middle of a murder investigation right now. Police business, I understand. She nods. Anything I can help you with? Yeah, what do you do around here? Like I said, fish, mostly. sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. What else? I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insulindian cuisine. Is that enough to make a living? Sometimes I also walk the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises. Keep it professional, man, says our rhetoric. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. The suggestion says, this is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now. I bet this is actually going to get us a +1 on that other check. Interesting. What have you found? Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. Mine washed ashore once. Or a mine washed ashore once. She looks at the beach and continues. Bottles, drugs also, lost cargo in general. But most of the time it's just wood and glass. Alright, says our rhetoric. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely. This one is interesting, but I'm not really sure if it's an interesting thing to say. But it is interesting to hear her explanation of why she doesn't leave. So I'm gonna say, this place looks bad. Why don't you leave? And go where? The fish are plentiful here, and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something. Just somewhere away from all this sadness. I'm gonna close my eyes as I say that. People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to work? When all your time and energy goes to staying alive, you have almost nothing to set aside to actually fight your way out. Hordes of wild, homeless people roaming the land, says our conceptualization. Failing. Nomads scattered across an endless plain in a dystopian world where terror is the only valid currency and people eat each other to stay alive. She smiles faintly and plucks some seaweed out of her net. I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We're warm and fed here, and I don't know. There's just something about this shithole. Yeah, I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help. But she's gonna have to help next episode because we're out of time. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.